Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps issue 6, written by Robert Venditti and art by Rafa Sandoval.
Yeah, I didn't cover 5 either, but I'll just cover them together because it kind of works. Basically, Sinestro caught a torturing guy, and he's like, nah, not having it. He's standing up to it, still making banter, as he does. It's fun.
Because this guy.
Yeah. So Soranik's saved Hal, put him back together, and he's now, like, how we know he's this living embodiment of Will. He does this thing where he shows her how he's changing, and his hand, it kind of goes translucent green, and she can see through it. But she's like, I didn't see any of this when I was patching you back up. So it's the idea that he can control this transformation that he's doing, which is, potentially interesting.
Yeah.
But it also that plays off what happens with Sinestro, because at the minute he's building this fear machine thing, and that's why he's sending the Sinestros out to terrorize everyone. He's harvesting the fear. So all the Sinestro Corps rings are getting stronger. So when Hal's fighting a bunch of them, their rings are like 200%. And of course, he just mows through them anyway because he's Hal Jordan.
So they basically turned him into Ion without having Ion.
Yeah, they did. Now that you mention it.
Yeah.
But they're kind of doing a similar thing with Sinestro, where he's harvesting all of this fear energy. That his rings are like 1,000% power, and he comes out, and that's kind of the end of the issue. Is this face-off bit where he comes out in his fully charged up suit and stuff, and it's like, okay, we're going to face off now. But alongside this, the rest of the Corps, they're finally on their way. John Stewart's like, all right, well, let's go and find Guy. And they meet up with a bunch of ships who are on their way to Warworld because the Sinestro Corps have been stealing people from all these planets to add to their fear collection. And they're like, now we've had enough. And so there's this big, massive fleet of ships that they join up with. And so they're en route. We don't actually see them get there yet, but they're going to presumably come in the middle of this fight.
With a convoy of spaceships.
With a convoy of spaceships.
Is it just me, or is stealing people from planets a little bit darker than Sinestro typically would go?
Well, yeah, but that's kind of the point, because Soranik was in charge, and she was like, no, we're a force for good. So he got them all to trust it, and then he was like, nope, it's mine again now. And he's done this to kind of, the idea is that he gets the extra fear for this fear machine thing, and they're all,
I don't know,
because the idea is that he's making the whole planet scared of the Sinestros.
I get it, but feel like,
go ahead, Pete.
I feel
like,
I
think we're gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, I feel like Sinestro's always been more sympathetic than that, but stealing people from planets just so that he can create fears, kind of.
Yeah, at points it feels like he doesn't have full control of his core, though. Like, so he's told them to go out and terrorize, and they're kind of going a bit far with it. But then he's not really punishing them for it either.
Yeah, so my whole thing is he was all about order, and there doesn't seem to be very much order here.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Like, Soranik had order, from what I'm understanding.
She did, yeah.
So he's just making things worse.
It's kind of got to a point where she had the order. His goal was achieved in his name still, as the Sinestro Corps. They'd replaced the Green Lanterns as the peacekeepers of the galaxy. And then he kind of got selfish and was like, nah, I want to be in control of this. It's pretty un-Sinestro-like, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
And that's why the Sinestro and Hal stuff is still probably the weakest part of the book. Like, the Soranik stuff, the Guy stuff, the John stuff, all of that's really good. But the Hal just feels like he's even more overpowered than Hal usually is. Like,
yeah.
He usually has faults and issues, whereas this, it feels like, he literally mows through about 20 Sinestros that are at 200% ring strength. Just no problem. It doesn't even show you the fight. That's how no problem it is. It starts it, and then it just cuts to the end, and they're all just lying there.
Yeah, because at least if it did like an Old Boy scene where there's like a badass action sequence where we see how good he is, that he can take out these things, it's not as bad, because you're impressed by what he's doing. But doing it like off camera, as it were, is just kind of like, it's not even important. Like, you can just do it. Yeah,
because he's basically made a fighter squadron of planes, because of course he has, with his ring.
Right. That's what he does.
Yeah. And he's like, all these Sinestros are flying at him, and then he's just, then they're all down pretty much as he flies through them. It's like, okay, what just happened there? It wasn't that impressive. It's just he just takes them out because he can, even though it's kind of telling us they're stronger than they should be. I don't know. Though, like I said, the Hal and Sinestro stuff's the weakest part for me, but the rest of it I really quite like. So I'm torn.
Just don't go and sign Vendetta to any sort of exclusive contracts, DC. You can let him float.
Well, I mean, I can see them doing it because he's just finished off with the Valiant stuff, hasn't he?
I don't want him in books that I like. I don't want him in characters that I like, though. I want him to stay away.
I get that.
I mean, sure, get work elsewhere on characters I don't care about. Go to Marvel. That's fine. They can have you.
I think he might even be a better fit over there because his idea of superheroes is they're more flawed than what DC is used to.
Yeah.
So,
like I said, I am enjoying the stuff with the rest of the core. Guy in particular, I feel like he has a really good handle on. But I don't know. I'm not feeling his Hal at all, which is kind of why I dropped his last run because it was just
me too.
Hal. And I feel like he doesn't get Hal.
Well, thankfully we're enjoying Green Lanterns now. That's gotten better as Rebirth has went on.